Time for the 49ers Rush Podcast.
Somebody had to win the award. I don't know if it's an award. The largest drop from the 2023 49ers roster countdown to the 2024 roster countdown. Somebody had to win it. And it goes to number 53, Drake Jackson. 35-spot drop. As a rookie, whenever he was a second-round pick, he was number 24 on our countdown. Last year, 2023, he was number 18 on our countdown. Now he's 53. And I don't want to say you give up hope. I don't want to say, like, this kid is still the youngest defensive end we have. He's 23 years old. Robert Beal, who we drafted last year, is 25. He's 2 years younger than Robert Beal. So you don't write the kid off. The athleticism and attitude and personality and all those things are still second-round worthy. Kid just can't put it together to save his life. And it's only been 2 years, but he's missed 17 games in 2 years. The 49ers have changed their entire draft philosophy on going after players with a lot of playing experience who stayed healthy. And Drake Jackson kind of fit that mold until he didn't. You want to understand that, you know, the greatest predictor of future success is past success. And if they've stayed healthy in the past, then they'll stay healthy in the future. But it doesn't always work out that way. And when the 49ers drafted him, he was the second-round pick, but he was their first pick. And they almost traded up for him. He was a huge need pick, versatile. You know, he's got the bend that is just bananas. And he's a great kid. A great kid. You put him behind a mic, teammates love him, coaches love him, everybody loves the kid. And he is a kid. He's 23 still. Just can't stay healthy, can't stay off the ground. It was to the point last year where every single time I saw Drake Jackson come in, number 95, I would just put my hand on my face oh no. And he was on the ground every other play, which is not what you want as an offense or defensive lineman. So how is he going to respond? He's got to understand you don't have a lot more chances here. You really, really don't. I mean, he's number 53. There's 53 people that make the active roster. I do think that Drake Jackson will make the roster, but he's still not practicing. He's still not playing. Missed all of OTAs and minicamps with a quad injury, and it's been a long time. He got hurt, I think it was week 8 or 9 of the season last year. Still not fully healed. So at some point, the play strength has been an issue. We'll jump into that a little bit more. Let's jump back, okay? Shout out to Josh, executive producer of the show, putting this together. And again, we rank every single player 1 through 91, 4 separate ballots. The highest he reached was 48 this year. The lowest was 55. That's a big spread for a guy that was a second-round pick. Easiest path to starting ever. And guess how many starts he has after 2 years? 0. The same as John Chapman. All right. He wears jersey number 95. Why did people see him as a second, third-round pick? 6'3", 250. That's not great. 34-inch arms. That's amazing. He was very, very young, still only 23. Didn't do his 40 and 10-yard and all that stuff. But what set him apart, you look at his 3-cone, 7.09, great. Bendy, change of direction, amazing. 36.5-inch vert, great. 10.7 broad jump, amazing. You plug in all of his measurables. Listen to he's a Penn State player. He just doesn't know it. He played at USC. But the 3 highest edge players, Arnold Ebiketie, Aaron Mabin, Adisa Isaac, all Penn State guys. And so I was like, man, I can't leave it at that. BJ Ojulari, who plays, was LSU, now plays for the Arizona Cardinals. Those are the type of guys, situational pass rushers with a little bit of upside. Now, the 49ers, they tried to use him as just a base defensive end, and they put him out there just to see what he could do. He has proven he can't play against the run. He might be the worst defensive end in the NFL against the run. You just look at last year. He had a 38.9 grade against the run. To say that is bad is an understatement. 197 defensive ends took snaps last year against a run play, 197 in the NFL. He ranked 188th. That means he's better than 9 of 197. And look, PFF is flawed, but I do think that there's something to be gained from it. And whenever it matches the tape, I'm telling you right now, not shocked at that number at all. Not shocked. The 188th best defensive end, worst defensive end against the run. It's just not what he does. It's not what he does. He is a situational pass rusher only until he gets that under his belt, then moves forward. That's all you can do with him now, especially coming off the injury in his third season. Injured freshman or rookie year, injured sophomore year. We got to see it. Now, comes out of Corona, California, Centennial High School, the Huskies. Was a communications major to USC, 4-star recruit, big dude. Chris Kusarek loved this dude, and he said this term several times, quote, flat-footed bend, end quote. And that's the thing, where the foot is completely in the ground, every single cleat is in the turf or field or whatever you want to say, and then the bend, Michael Jackson style, right, the smooth criminal, whatever, you got all your cleats in the ground, but you're able to bend through the offensive tackle around the edge. It's bend. You got it or you don't. This kid's got it. Yeah, Ben was a 9 on traits in my draft profile before we drafted him. Now, anchoring was an issue. USC used him as an outside linebacker. I mean, he was in man coverage 80 yards downfield a few times for USC. Terrible coaching always. But the traits were there, the raw traits. I mean, this dude's doing backflips and all kinds of stuff, standing backflips at 6'3", 250. Dude's crazy. Athletically, flexibility-wise, all those things, Ben-wise, he's gotten spades. He just can't put it together. Again, 3-time second-team All-Pac-12, RIP, co-MVP as a senior defensive end at Centennial High. Super raw. USC played him everywhere, like I talked about. Led the defensive line in tip passes in 2022 for the 49ers. Like, there's so many things that he can do. He's got those 34-inch freaking long arms. He's got the wingspan. He's got the athleticism. He's got the flexibility. He's got all these things. Just can't put it together consistently. And, you look at just this year. The plan this year was for Cleveland Farrell to be the base defensive end opposite of Nick Bosa because he's so good versus the run. And then you bring in Drake Jackson, and he's your pass rushing guy. And so Cleveland Farrell plus Drake Jackson are the end opposite Bosa. Obviously, does not a Bosa make, but that was the plan. And for 1 week, it worked. Comes out of that Pittsburgh Steelers game, which is, man, such a fun game. He ran the Steelers out of their own stadium. He had 3 sacks. Oh, it was incredible. He's still ranked, what's it called? He ranked, I think, 3rd or 4th on the team for sacks, and he only did them all in the first game. After that, hard to find a positive play. 7 consecutive weeks, worse. When the injury happened to his quad, no clue. They don't talk about that. But, I mean, it was bad. Now, you go back to his freshman year, or his rookie year, dude was a healthy scratch. Week 15 on, they said it was an injury, and I think he did have a surgery in the offseason, so probably was, but you're talking back-to-back years, you don't even know when he got injured. They just took him out of the lineup. It was so bad. It was so bad. It was terrible. Tape shows how bad it is. I mean, this dude is on the ground nonstop. He is just getting pancaked repeatedly. Like, teams want to play against Drake Jackson. That's not where you want to be. Now, let's hold that intention. Let's go back. This is Kyle Shanahan on rookie Drake Jackson, right? So this is a 2-year-old clip on what he's seen from Drake Jackson and what he has to do going forward. And that's why I picked this clip, because let's check off the things that he has accomplished and the ones he hasn't.
We hoped for and then we saw in college, we were very excited about and saw. We didn't do much team stuff and we didn't do anything physical. So now we want to see him play football and see how he can get through a training camp and if he can keep that athletic ability while continuing to get better and find a way to stay healthy while he doesn't.
Keep the athletic ability. He's done that. find a way to stay healthy and do it with the pads on, he hasn't. Maybe it's as easy as, look, dude, you've got to stay healthy because his play strength is the issue. That was a question mark. Can his play strength, because again, he wasn't blitzing off the edge at USC. So that was already a translation point in why you took him in the later part of the second round. Play strength. We heard last year what Trent Williams said, yeah, he ate some weights this offseason. He looked all bulked up, all that stuff, and it showed week one. But, as a coach and a former player, your strength right before the season is not your strength halfway through the season or the end of the season. It's on a downhill trajectory. Yeah, you're still lifting weights and all that stuff, but you are playing football. You are trying to maintain your strength and your shape as much as possible. Ask Javon Hargrave. Same thing happened to him. Now you ask Drake Jackson. You start the season here, and it just slowly dissipates because of how much football you are playing. The linemen lose weight. The linemen lose strength, all those things. And now you add on back-to-back seasons with an injury. Drake Jackson can't keep weight, can't keep strength. That's been an issue. He can maybe for the first part of the season. After that, it disappears. Spin move all the time. Can't do that in the NFL. You lose contain, get pancaked, your back's to the ball. That might have worked at USC. That didn't work here. He's played 23 games in 2 seasons. That's playoffs included. Missed 17 games. In 2 years. That is just not good. It's not good. And again, back-to-back seasons, his tape got worse and worse and worse every single game. Every single game. Worse and worse and worse. Now, his PF grades for the entire season last year, 62.6 overall, not bad. 38.9 run, as bad as he gets. 64.1 pass rush, 61.2 special teams, not bad. Not bad. Get him out of the run game. Take away almost all of his snaps that will be against running plays. That's all he should do. You look at what he's done in his 2 years, 21 tackles, 5 tackle for loss, 9 quarterback hits, not bad. 6 sacks, not bad. 9 pass breakups, not bad. 1 interception. The playmaking's there. He either makes a sack, quarterback hit, tackle for loss, or he's on the ground. Those are the only 2 options. And consistency says that's not winning football. That is not winning football. He's shown he can do the splash positive, but you can't do the splash negatives. He's showing up every week on both teams' highlights. That ain't it. That ain't it. If you could eliminate being posterized by offensive linemen repeatedly and keep the quarterback hits, the sacks, the tackle for losses, the tip passes, now we got a player. So, I don't know. You only got 2 years left on his rookie deal. 4-year, $5.8 million deal. He's already got $3.1 million. I'm glad that he's gotten paid so well. That's good. But, come on. He played 8 games last season. 0 career starts. That's not going to do it. And, looking forward, I'm like, look, man. Put this guy as a situational pass rusher only. You give him 7 to 10 snaps a game. That's it. You're going in on 3rd downs and 2nd and long. That's it. Nothing else. Nothing else. Until you can sustain and prove that you can handle that without falling down. And that's what I'm working on. Dude, quit. Get off the damn ground. Get off the ground. Whenever I used to watch tape of my players, whether on practice or games, part of their score sheet said on the ground, OTG. All linemen, D linemen. If you're on the ground, it's negative. Get off the damn ground. Get off the lawn. Anyway, now let's look at why I still believe Drake Jackson makes this 49ers roster this year. They keep 6 or 5 defensive ends. Do you keep more defensive tackles or ends? This is the constant tension. So let's look at the locks. Bosa, Leonard Floyd, Yetur Gross-Matos, and I think Robert Beal is a lock. I really do. That's 4. That means there's 1 or 2 spots left. They did not bring in any competition whatsoever. They didn't draft an edge. They didn't even bring in an undrafted free agent edge. There's no competition. So now you've got your 4 locks. Out of the last 2 spots, you got Drake Jackson, Austin Bryant, Raymond Johnson III. I think he got cut. Never mind. Alex Barrett, Sam Aquanu. Come on. Like, there's not much competition. If they only keep 1, it's probably Drake Jackson. If they keep 2, it's definitely Drake Jackson. And I don't know where his rehab is. He missed all of minicamp and OTAs. Is he going to be on the PUP? Is he even going to be ready for training camp? We haven't heard anything. Dude's got to play football. I was upset whenever I heard he was missing OTAs. Like, this guy needs time. Work on the field. He's missed so much. Get him in a uniform. Now, quad injuries are no joke, but goodness, if he goes through all of training camp and preseason without playing, what is your faith level in him coming off of an injury without playing in pads to contribute at all this year? And it's his 3rd season. Not good, man. So, like, I have him making this roster. He's 53. He can't get any lower. Age, the fact that he's so young, draft capital, former 2nd-round pick, and lack of competition, that's why he makes the roster. That's why I was so shocked they didn't take a defensive end. They needed one. I mean, even if Robert Beal is awesome, even if he is, that gives you 4. You can't count on Drake Jackson, can't count on Austin Bryant, can't count on Alex Barrett, can't count on Sam Aquanu. Like, 49ers might add another edge, a veteran option that's out there. Man, if Drake Jackson's not ready by training camp report date, whenever they come in and do physicals, 49ers are going to have to add another veteran edge. They're going to have to. There's just no depth. Bosa Floyd, Yatir Gross-Matos, Robert Beal Jr. And, like, that's it. There is nothing. And Robert Beal Jr. is a question mark. I know he's a lock for me and trending upward, but still, dude hasn't played much at all. I don't know, man. Drake Jackson, I mean, his contract has been paid. It's fully guaranteed, so I don't think that he's going to be, cut or anything. But you need snaps from this kid. You need positive snaps from this kid. Come on, man. Everybody loved you when you got drafted, myself included. Somebody opposite Bosa, never going to face double teams. Got to put it together. All right, Drake Jackson, we're pulling for you, man. We need you out there. Comes in number 53, the largest drop from last year. Had to go to somebody. But for us, we'll just keep counting them down.